Absolutely. So, speaking of other things, I'll kind of trail off the Warlord thing a little bit. The next A to Z album, really quick, kind of maybe chime in and talk a bit about that. How was that going for you? I know the first album I thought was fantastic, and maybe if you want, talk a little bit about what we might be in store for on the next one.
Everything's great. I had to make some shifts. I had to do some changing around. I'll make it kind of short and sweet, but you know, my good friend there, Phil Ehart, says it best. Some guys just aren't manageable, and I thought it was a great record. The press thought it was a great record. The audience response thought it was a great record. The label was shocked. The label didn't expect what it did. I mean, we were also pushing. When I say we, it's basically me, but pushing the living daylights out of it. We did 11 videos for it. We kept it going. I mean, 11 months in, and I know this is nothing compared to bands, but we're banging like 80,000 views that are real views, not like computer generated views. And I'm going, wow, there must be, people must like this, you know? So the new lineup is Jimmy Waldo, obviously Philip Bino, Nick Van Dyke is playing guitar and writing, and Simone Molaroni, who did the mix, is also a phenomenal guitar player, is playing the leads. It's a thicker record. It's a deeper record. It's got a lot more grit to it. It's going to appeal to someone that wants to rock a little bit more. It also has a little bit more of a progressive kind of, not progressive like fives and sixes and nines, but just a little bit more progressive, I guess is the word. I mean, Bino's busting out the cello, kind of thing, and I think it's fantastic. I kind of run a kind of a tight ship as far as this is the direction we're going. It's like, okay, this is really cool, but where's the hook? Okay, this is really cool, but it's going on way too long. It's like it's very controlled. Hugh Syme's doing the artwork. Just going to do another full-blown package and hopefully get this out on the road. Again, you run into problems. That's why I'm so blessed or happy or thankful. Thankful is the word with Warlord, because I know it's the guys are all moving in the same direction. And a lot of times the stuff you're playing in a band situation, and everybody's not moving in the same situation or in the same direction, and it becomes a problem. And it was just very disappointing that spent all this money on the record, overly excited about it, loved it, was just giddy about it. It came out and it caught, and we're all set. We're getting the calls to go play gigs. We're getting things coming in. It's like, oh my God, this is great. We're doing the whole thing. We're doing the press, all this stuff. And all of a sudden, like one guy in the band can't go on tour. And then it's like, okay, well, we know a million guitar players, so let's go get somebody. And like, not like it doesn't happen every day. And then someone else doesn't want to go out unless it's the original lineup, and the whole thing just died.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why don't we go? Why don't we go? I'll be free in June, which was 9 months away. And I'm like, no one's going to want to see this band in June. Please. Again, not everybody moving in that same direction. So kind of learned a valuable lesson. It's the first record that I really produced, by myself. And it's like, you really got to surround yourself with guys that, number one, are mature. Number two, that will tell you straight up. And none of this thing of like, disappearing for 3 months and not hearing from them while you're trying to give them money. I mean, it just got ugly. And I got to that point where I said, I can't have guys holding up my career. It's time to move on, And I wrote with a whole bunch of different people, big, small, in between, whatever. And just when me and Nick started doing it, I've known Nick for 30 years or so, it just clicked and it was great. And there's a guy that, that I love, and there's a guy that I trust, and he'll tell me straight up, he already told me, he goes, hey, when you go to play live, I might not be able to make it because, my work, but I'll give you 6 guys that can fill in, so just pro. I guess that the word pro has really gotten kind of deteriorated over the years, I think, in the music business, because there used to be a certain, well, I take that back. There's always been goofy people, and they don't understand how like business works, in a band. So, but no, it's great. I can't wait for it to come out. It's about to be mixed. it's it's got everything. It's a great progression. I think it's not a carbon copy of the first record. Um, there is a little bit more, teeth to it. It's edge. It's rocking. It's it's great. The thing that's really evident, two things, and they were the changes that I made. The keyboards are not so much of a filler and fluff, but more in a John Lord kind of angry Jimmy Waldo kind of
Okay.
hand, right?
Yep.
And the guitar playing, what Simone brought in was that Steve Lukather kind of orchestrated textural guitar parts that really took it to another level. Just
Yeah.
completely blew my mind.
Well, I'm really excited to hear that. I love the first album. And so that's a cool thing to hear about because again, when I remember when I heard that, and I remember I heard the people that were playing on it, and I'm like, I'm going to check this out. And I heard it, and I was actually, I mean, from the first song, that record caught me. I mean, it's almost like the perfectly recorded record. And I said this before. I mean, the songwriting was great. It wasn't crazy progressive. It was pretty straightforward. There was no like 9-10 minute songs on it. It was just a straightforward record. And so I'm really looking forward to the next one.
Awesome. Awesome.